Sometimes, a moment defines an entire era, and not always in the way fans hope. Game 7 wasn't just another playoff loss for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It felt like a funeral for belief, trust, and maybe even the final nail in the coffin for the so-called Core Four. But this time, all eyes weren't on Auston Matthews or William Nylander. The spotlight burned red-hot on Mitch Marner, and the fallout from that night is setting fire to everything once sacred between him and the city that once loved him like a son. The Leafs didn't just lose. They imploded. A 6-1 collapse in Game 7 against the Florida Panthers wasn't just painful, it was humiliating. As the Panthers rattled off 3 unanswered goals, the Leafs looked like passengers on a bus heading straight for off-season irrelevance. But what stood out more than the scoreboard was the chaos behind the bench. Mitch Marner, normally reserved and composed, snapped. He screamed at his teammates, desperate to shake them awake. Instead, it may have just exposed how far he's fallen from being the emotional leader this team needs. If you thought Leafs Nation would go down quietly, think again. Marner didn't just hear boos, he got a beer chucked at the bench. A jersey hit the ice mid-shift. Every time he touched the puck, the chorus of disappointment grew louder. For a local boy turned franchise star, it was like watching the hero of the story suddenly become the villain. This wasn't about one game anymore. This was years of pent-up frustration, broken playoff dreams, and unmet expectations boiling over in a single ugly night. Marner isn't just in a slump. He's becoming a stat line Leafs fans dread to read. Since signing his massive extension in 2019, he scored just 7 playoff goals. 7. Has he already played his last game in Toronto? And if so, who's really to blame for how this all fell apart? Sound off in the comments, we're ready for your take. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay ahead of every twist in this Maple Leafs meltdown.